information that might help these local government people.
Cool. Hi everyone, and hopefully you can hear me okay. Someone's just cranked up a lawnmower outside on the nature strip, but it's a sunny day, so good time to do it. I think I know a lot of people in the room. There's a few familiar faces and names. Brycey, my old colleague from tennis, good to see you. So yeah, for those that don't know, Vicsport's the peak body for sport in Victoria, so work a lot with the state sport associations, local government, sport and rec teams, regional sports assemblies, Vic Health, SRV, pretty much everyone. My role is normally running a lot of workshops and forums and consultation projects. So a few of those consultation pieces are still going ahead with various sports who've got time to plan, but obviously workshops and forums and all of that have been affected. So we're looking at how we can do that differently. I'm just going to give a sort of broad update on what I know about the sports sector and conversations we've been having, and then tell you about some webinars we're running later this month that will provide some more insights into that. So our CEO, Lisa, and our Manager of Strategic Projects, Anthony, have been working on a survey of state sport associations. And that's been put back to Sport and Rec Victoria in a report that will highlight the impact on jobs and the impact on revenue across all of those sports. But obviously that's been hit very, very hard by COVID-19. I won't talk to any of the stats yet because I haven't actually seen the report yet myself. But when that comes out, we're hoping that we can share that information far and wide so people have that picture of how things are going. To my knowledge, I mean, look, Vicpsort hasn't been impacted. Vic Health and Sport and Rec Victoria are still all there, still working away, trying to support people. Seems like most people in councils are still there and operational, and regional sports assemblies as well. So there's a fair chunk of the industry still around, ready to support clubs. The SSAs, you know, potentially up to half of their staff have been either stood down or made redundant. So it is a pretty big impact. But yeah, we can hopefully share more of that detail down the track. I've been chatting to SSAs a lot in the past couple of weeks, and so the big sports, especially winter sports, are pretty much the hardest hit. The footballs, AFLs, and rugbies of the world. Tennis have reduced staff hours but managed to hold on to all of their staff for the moment, and I guess they're lucky that they you know, managed to run the Australian Open this year and aren't in too much of a difficult situation yet, but you know, things can change pretty fast. Some of the summer sports I've spoken to, like triathlon, sailing, a couple of examples, they, you know, the end of their summer season was what got impacted, so they had to cancel a few of those final events, but they're hoping to reschedule those to next summer, you know, pending, you know, the impact of all of this throughout winter. And then there's a few sports, some of the smaller state sport associations and others that have project funding, like the Vic Health Growing Participation in Sport. Those people are still there working away and, you know, just doing more planning on those projects during the current period. But yeah, speaking of the SSAs and what they have been doing, definitely still there and still working away and communicating with clubs, sending out updates related to COVID-19, working on more digital content and social media campaigns and trying to help the clubs to keep the members engaged and supported. A few sports have been surveying their clubs as well, so there's no meaningful sort of collation of that data as yet. But there might be future surveys that Vicpsort gets involved in to go directly to clubs, or maybe there's a process we can do to sort of collate information that various SSAs have gathered around the financial impact of clubs and also, you know, what they actually want to do during this period. So we're planning to do some, what started off as LGA webinars, but we'll probably broaden now to just member webinars for everyone to log on to. So probably starting on April 28th, but we'll confirm after Easter. Looking at 3 webinars. So the first will just be a sports industry update from our CEO, Lisa, and hopefully get someone from Sport and Rec Victoria and Vic Health on there as well. And aim will be that we can present a bit more of that information from the survey of SSAs. Second webinar will focus on clubs and probably look at a strategic Q&A with a a range of people from different roles in the sector, just starting to discuss, what's changing at clubs and how we can all work together to help them. And then looking at another webinar as well to talk about inclusive and active participation campaigns from councils. Perhaps do some case studies, so sharing what has worked before the COVID-19 situation, but also how councils have been adapting to that. So we'll send that information out soon. I think probably a lot of your councils are Vicsport members, but we're also trying to make sure that database is up to date. So I might be able to probably gather a few names and emails off this list, or perhaps Mandy's happy to share the flyer for the webinars around as well. And a reminder that, you can call myself or Vicsport anytime as well. And if you want to be connected to someone at a sport or just sort of workshop ideas or see if we can help, we're all working away at home busily and here to help and trying to be involved in as many conversations as we can and learn as much as we can so we can help through this, strange and ultimately awful situation that we all find ourselves in.
Beautiful. Thanks, Tom. Yeah, I've unmuted myself, haven't I? Okay. Yeah, thanks, Tom. That was really good. And obviously, Tom's the participation strategy manager for Vicpsort, so all over anything to do with participation in sport and active recreation. So if you haven't met Tom before, now's the time, and now's the time to make great connections. And this platform, as I've mentioned, is all about just connecting you guys together and sharing information. So when I spoke to Tom yesterday, I was really pleased to hear about the type of activities that Vicsport is undertaking that's actually going to feed through to you guys in local government. So we're more than happy to share all of this information from Vicsport or SRV or even PLA. We've made contact with a lot of other agencies who can help you guys through I guess this journey. And if everyone supports this platform and you're enjoying it and it's working well for you, you're making great connections, but you're also getting information, we'll just continue to run this. So I'm going to wrap it up by just saying thanks for coming. I think the IT worked quite well. The technology worked quite well. Yeah. I feel like we kind of moved in and out. The only thing I struggled with was I couldn't get into any room. So apologies to everyone, because I didn't actually get to come into your room, but hopefully we'll figure that out next week. But we will continue to run this on Thursdays at 11 o'clock. We will still send you the link, and feel free to pass this on to anybody else in your team. It really is for local government staff in sport, rec and leisure, but of course inviting people from Vicpsort or SSAs or SRV or Play Australia, other areas as well. So, but we want to keep it as a forum for you guys. So if you're all happy with that, if you've got any questions, please feel free to email me. Yep, you've got the chat going there as well. Please feel free to email myself or Joe if you need further information, or if there's anything that you would like us to follow up on. I can't talk and read those things at the same time. I don't know how people do that.
Like Q&A.
But yeah, if there was someone in the room that you feel like you want to connect with, just let us know. That's what it's about. So it sounds like was that a plane flying over? I didn't think there was any planes still flying. But if so, I hope you've enjoyed it, and we will see you next Thursday.